In this week's Color Rescue, we're talking about the 5 biggest mistakes that people make when decorating their dining rooms. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Killam, and I can hardly wait to help you have a home that fills you with joy when you walk in the door. So let's get started. So the first mistake everyone makes in the beginning, right? I did the same when I was a newlywed. My husband and I went out and we bought a dining room set that all matched, right? But some people hang on to that set forever, okay? Because it was expensive. I get it. I was in a house once where the dining room was so tiny because I live just an hour outside of Vancouver, and there's a lot of homes that are small because the cost of living is so expensive here. And I was in her house for a consultation, this client, and she had this huge matching dining room set just like crammed into her tiny dining room. As I was sitting there, I looked over at the dining room set. She could see what I was thinking, and she went, "I know it's too big for this house, but my husband's parents bought it for us when we were newlyweds, and it was $18,000. So here's the thing. Like, if you've had your dining room set for, 10, 15, 20 years, isn't it time for a change? Isn't it time to maybe paint those chairs, to breathe new life into a matching set that really never should have been matching to begin with?" This follower sent in her dining room and she said, "Welcome to my perfectly nice but a little boring dining room. I love aspects of this room, but I feel like it needs a bit of a level up to make it truly fabulous. The table and chairs are new, so they must stay. The china cabinet is okay, but I feel like it needs to be more of a sideboard or a buffet table for storage/functionality. I would be open to relocating it or selling it. Besides, a buffet table would give me the opportunity for 2 lamps. Yes! The area rug is new, ordered online as well. I'd like to keep it, but would be open to finding a different one if it was a key element in achieving a fabulous room. The botanical art is a major yawner. I would happily replace it with some colorful new pieces. This room is used at least once a week for family dinners and hosting holiday gatherings. I feel like it deserves a bit of a glow up and that it would be a great candidate for a color rescue." Yes, thank you for sending it in, and you're absolutely spot on. If you have a dining room with a hutch, I get that it gives you storage, but it completely takes away the ability for you to place 2 lamps on your sideboard with a piece of art or a mirror above it to give you that glow in the evenings during dinner. I mean, most of the time, the chandelier, unless it has little shades on it, if it's a candelabra style chandelier, it's going to hit you in the eyeballs anyway during dinner. So much nicer to have candles and 2 lamps on a sideboard. That is absolutely what this dining room needs. And I've also linked down below links to the chandelier shades that you can stick on top of your naked chandelier in case you would like to have more of a glow in your dining room, because that is always achieved with shades and never achieved with those glaring Edison bulbs that just get you in the eyeballs. Okay, so now if you look at her dining room, you'll notice that her rug in actual fact looks dirty with her blue and white drapes. This is a distinction I teach in my 2-day expert color and design training workshops. When you learn this distinction, by the way, this design principle, you will immediately, instantly have the ability to walk into spaces and know exactly what to do to fix them when it comes to the clean and dirty perspective. More on that on a different video. However, this room definitely needs a new area rug in order to relate to the blue and white curtains. And while we're on this blue and white train, let's add some lamps. Let's add a fabulous piece of art. She's right that her botanicals just kind of die in this particular setting and would look a lot better replaced with some colorful art. So in this dining room, her whole piece is like a hutch, so she would need to replace it with a sideboard, and I chose this French-inspired one that would relate to her French chandelier and provide some contrast with her wood-stained dining room table and make it feel a lot more collected. Moving on to mistake number 3 from a follower who said, "I have the hardest dining room to decorate. My dining room, living room, foyer is one large open concept. The The dining room has no windows. I saw your video where you put in some faux windows in an apartment, but I don't think that's what I want to do here. The mirrors currently help it feel brighter, but I'm not sure how to decorate the dining room and the adjacent foyer wall. The only thing I like here is the chandelier over the dining room table. Everything else probably needs to go. It all looks brown, brown, brown to me. Everything is square, square, square. The piano will most certainly go. I was thinking an extra long credenza with oversized lamps, but then what do I do in the foyer? Also a credenza with lamps? Any help would be appreciated. I like olive green, navy blue, and nature colors. So, first of all, what I'm going to say about this dining room is that the reason why she doesn't like her mirrors is because they just seem very sort of like run-of-the-mill, off the shelf. We've seen a million of these espresso frames, but in actual fact, the room that I don't think she saw was this one. Look at how this room doesn't even have the art that fills up the space where the drapes are. But look at the before. I mean, it's such a dramatic transformation. I frankly would still hang curtains in this room with those mirrors. I think that the mirrors are a good start to creating the feeling of a window wall. Here's the third mistake that so many people make with their decorating is just taking a darker version of the neutral they already have and sticking it up on an accent wall. That's the reason why there's way too many black accent walls out there right now, when really all black's going to do is pull your space down. And unless you have sconces on that black accent wall or light reflecting off of it, it's going to die in most people's homes. Okay, but I digress. So point number 4, okay, the fourth mistake that people make is that when you have an open concept space, but you can't actually paint the dining room a color, like a dramatic color like you normally would. So that's when you really do need to commit to the decorating with color in the room so that you can bring that drama over to the dining room side of the space. So in this case, her accent wall should just go back to the taupe neutral that she has everywhere else. And she's got the perfect inspiration piece already for this entire space with her blue and green art. All she needs is a white credenza, similar to the one that I had in my former studio, and also a fabulous green area rug would be amazing in here. I would also, as a side note, suggest a different chandelier with shades. I feel that this one is just too modern for this particular space. So now we're down to the 5th mistake that most people make when they try to incorporate the mix into their dining room, and that is not getting the chairs right. If you're going to have captain's chairs that are different from the chairs around on both sides of the table, they should actually be a different chair, not the same chair with a different fabric like she has in this room. So I would suggest 2 blue windback chairs. That would look amazing with the chairs that she has right now. Now, let's go through some other dining rooms. This one is mine in my old house and then the same set in the new house. So you can see that my big wingback chairs really work well with the French leopard side chairs. In addition to, I have a sideboard that is also a mix. So we've got the walnut table that provides the contrast against the white sideboard against the dining room wall. As you can see in this client's dining room, she had a lot of chairs and they were all brown. So I eliminated some chairs and reupholstered 4 of them in white vinyl. We brought in a colorful blue rug and some custom drapes, and then I just found these 2 upholstered pattern chairs from Pier 1 that then created way more of a collected look. And she even kept her china cabinet in this case because she had another spot in the room where we were able to incorporate a lamp above her cabinet. This client's dining room was in an open layout space, so we freshened up her neutral to a lighter one. Then we added some drama with her large wingback chairs, replaced the drapery, painted the ceiling a fresh shade of blue, and gave this room the refresh that it needed. But wait, notice she doesn't have any shades on her chandelier. I think I need to send her an email with the link because all of these chandeliers should have a little shade, okay? Don't forget, that link is below. And to answer my reader's last question, how do I incorporate the set of drawers in the entry to make it flow with the dining room since they're visually connected? And that is the reason why I chose a white sideboard in the dining room, because this piece is, it's a little boring and would look amazing if she painted it a great shade of blue to coordinate with the theme of blue and green that she has in her dining room. And then lamps, nothing wrong with more lamps. If you have 3 feet of space in between your last lamp and your next lamp, that's not too much, just saying. When you have that glow all around your living room, you will thank me later. So if you have a dining room that needs a makeover like this, what you need in order to be able to visualize in advance if the room is coming together is my How to Create a Mood Board course. I've included the links down below. You can then set your existing pieces from your dining room, or like that piece of art that she had, because that's what we started with, and then start adding pieces so that you can see before it actually arrives on your doorstep that it's going to be the right color. So if you are in the Lower Mainland, and I'll eventually be in Calgary and Edmonton as well, and you need a color rescue in person, a one-day makeover, if you have a room that you think could be done in a day because you've got the basics already, I'll include the link so you can apply below. And thanks for watching. See you next time.